Welcome back to Stamps Old World UK. Today we are exploring one of the most beautiful and historic classic United States postage stamps ever issued, the famous 15 cents Statue of Liberty stamp. This remarkable stamp is admired by collectors all over the world because it combines American history, iconic design, and strong collector demand. If you enjoy rare stamps, historical postal issues, and discovering hidden treasures in stamp collections, then this video is for you. The stamp you are looking at features the world-famous Statue of Liberty standing proudly in New York Harbor. The design captures the symbol of freedom that welcomed millions of immigrants arriving in America during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The image of Liberty raising her torch has become one of the most recognizable symbols in the world, and this stamp beautifully preserves that history in miniature form. This 15 cents United States postage stamp belongs to the famous definitive issues of the early 20th century. The stamp was issued during a period when higher denomination stamps were mainly used for international mail, heavier packages, business correspondence, and special postal services. Unlike lower values that were printed in enormous quantities for everyday letters, the 15 cents denomination had a more specialized purpose, making surviving examples especially interesting for collectors today. The deep violet and black color combination gives this stamp a strong and elegant appearance. The detailed engraving work is a wonderful example of classic stamp printing craftsmanship. Looking closely at the design, collectors can appreciate the fine lines used to create the folds of the statue's robe, the torch, the crown, and the surrounding New York skyline. Stamp engravers of this era were true artists, creating extraordinary detail on an area smaller than a modern postage label. Many collectors ask the most important question: what is the value of this stamp today in United States dollars? The answer depends heavily on condition, centering, gum quality, perforations, cancellations, and whether the stamp is mint or used. A common used example with an ordinary cancellation and average condition generally sells in today's market for around $5 to $20. A well-centered example with attractive appearance and light cancellation can often reach $25 to $50. If the stamp is in mint condition with original gum and no hinge marks, values can increase significantly. Mint examples often sell between $50 and $150 depending on quality and certification. Exceptional premium examples with perfect centering and excellent preservation may sell for several $100s at specialist auctions. Collectors should also remember that rare varieties can dramatically increase value. Certain printing varieties, shade differences, plate number blocks, positional pieces, and unusual postal history covers bearing this stamp may be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Professional grading by recognized philatelic experts can make an enormous difference in market value because certified examples give buyers confidence in authenticity and condition. One of the reasons collectors love this stamp is because it represents more than just postal history. It represents immigration, hope, opportunity, and freedom. Millions of families arriving in America saw the Statue of Liberty as their first sight of a new beginning. Owning this stamp means holding a small piece of that incredible history in your hands. The stamp market in 2025 continues to show strong interest in classic United States issues, particularly stamps featuring iconic American symbols such as the Statue of Liberty, presidents, and historical landmarks. While some modern stamps are produced in huge numbers and remain inexpensive, classic engraved issues continue attracting collectors from North America, Europe, Asia, and around the world. International demand helps support prices and keeps these historical pieces highly collectible. If you discover this stamp in an old family album, inherited collection, or vintage box of letters, do not rush to sell it immediately. Carefully examine the perforations, check for cancellations, inspect the back for original gum, and compare the stamp with specialized catalog listings. Small details can make the difference between a $10 stamp and a $100 stamp. Condition is everything in philately. Another important factor affecting value is centering. Collectors pay premium prices for stamps where the design sits perfectly in the middle with equal margins on all sides. Even if two stamps are identical in every other way, the better centered example may sell for several times the price of the poorly centered one. This is one of the first features professional graders evaluate. The history of stamp collecting itself adds another layer of fascination to this issue. For generations, collectors have searched for beautiful examples of the Statue of Liberty stamp to complete their United States collections. Some collectors specialize only in Liberty-themed stamps, while others collect all classic American definitive issues. This constant demand helps maintain a stable collector market. Auction houses and stamp dealers continue to trade these classic issues regularly. Online marketplaces have also introduced a new generation of collectors to the hobby. Buyers from every continent can now compete for high-quality examples, creating a truly global marketplace for historic stamps such as this one. For beginners entering the world of philately, this stamp represents an excellent starting point. It is historic, visually attractive, affordable in standard condition, and connected to one of the most important monuments in American history. Many collectors begin with stamps like this and later develop lifelong passions for postal history and classic issues. As we conclude today's journey into the fascinating world of stamp collecting, the 15-cent Statue of Liberty stamp reminds us why philately remains one of the world's greatest hobbies. Every stamp tells a story. Some tell stories of kings and queens, some tell stories of wars and discoveries, and some, like this magnificent issue, tell the story of freedom and new beginnings. Next up, the United States Postal Service, the famous 11-cent Liberty stamp featuring the Statue of Liberty and the inspiring national motto, "In God We Trust." This small but powerful stamp carries an incredible story of American history, postal heritage, and collector interest that continues to attract stamp enthusiasts from around the world. At first glance, the stamp immediately captures attention with its striking red, white, and blue color design. The image of the Statue of Liberty holding her torch high above New York Harbor symbolizes freedom, hope, democracy, and opportunity. For generations, this iconic monument has represented the spirit of the United States and remains one of the most recognized landmarks on Earth. The 11-cent Liberty stamp was issued during a period when the United States Postal Service was modernizing its definitive stamp series while maintaining strong national symbols in its designs. Definitive stamps are the everyday workhorses of the postal system, produced in large quantities and used for routine mail services across the country. Although millions were printed, these stamps remain historically important because they document postal rates, printing technology, and changing design styles of their era. One of the most distinctive features of this stamp is the placement of the words, "In God We Trust," around the torch of the Statue of Liberty. This powerful national motto has appeared on American coins and currency for many years, and its inclusion on this stamp creates a unique combination of patriotism and symbolism. The design reminds collectors that postage stamps are more than payment for mail delivery. They are miniature ambassadors of national history and culture. The red background creates a dramatic contrast with the blue engraving of the Statue of Liberty, making this one of the most visually attractive definitive issues of its time. The detailed engraving techniques used in production demonstrate the skill of American stamp designers and printers. Even under magnification, collectors can appreciate the remarkable precision used to create the facial features, crown, torch, and folds of the statue's robe. Now we come to the question every collector wants answered. What is the market value of this 11-cent Liberty stamp today in United States dollars? Because this stamp was printed in very large quantities, most standard used examples remain affordable for collectors. A common used copy with postal cancellation typically sells for between 10 cents and $1 depending on condition and appearance. Unused mint examples with original gum generally sell between $1 and $5 for ordinary examples in good condition. Blocks of 4, plate blocks, booklet panes, and complete sheets often attract greater interest and can command prices ranging from $10 to $50 or more, depending on rarity and preservation. Collectors should also pay attention to possible printing errors and varieties. Missing colors, inverted elements, unusual perforations, miscuts, tagging varieties, and major production errors can increase the value dramatically. While standard examples remain inexpensive, genuine error stamps from this issue may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars if authenticated by professional philatelic experts. condition remains the most important factor affecting value. A stamp with bright colors, sharp perforations, no creases, no tears, and excellent centering will always command higher prices than damaged examples. Collectors and investors seek stamps that have survived decades in the best possible condition. Centering is particularly important for modern United States stamps. A perfectly centered example with equal margins on all sides may receive a premium grade from professional grading companies. High-grade certified examples can sell for several times the value of ordinary copies because collectors compete strongly for top-quality material. Another interesting aspect of this stamp is its accessibility to new collectors. Unlike many classic 19th century issues that require significant investment, the 11 cents Liberty stamp allows beginners to own a beautiful piece of American postal history for a very modest cost. Many collectors begin their journey with stamps exactly like this before, moving into rarer and more expensive areas of philately. The global stamp market continues to show interest in stamps featuring the Statue of Liberty. Because the monument itself has universal recognition, collectors specializing in topical collections such as monuments, national symbols, patriotism, immigration, or American history often include this issue in their albums. Its popularity extends far beyond the United States and reaches collectors throughout Europe, Asia, Australia, and South America. The rise of online auctions and digital marketplaces has also made these stamps easier to buy and sell than ever before. Collectors can compare prices from dealers worldwide, study condition differences, and build collections from the comfort of their homes. This international accessibility has helped maintain steady demand for attractive examples of Liberty-themed issues. For collectors searching through inherited albums or family collections, finding this stamp can be an exciting introduction to the world of philately. Although most examples are common, there is always the possibility of discovering a rare variety, unusual cancellation, or valuable postal history item attached to a cover or historical envelope. Many collectors choose to build complete collections of Statue of Liberty stamps issued by the United States Postal Service over the decades. Such collections include commemorative issues, airmail stamps, definitive series, express mail stamps, and special anniversary releases. This 11 cents issue often serves as an important part of those collections. The beauty of stamp collecting lies not only in financial value, but also in the stories each stamp carries through history. This stamp traveled on letters connecting families, businesses, friends, and communities across America and around the world. Every cancellation mark represents a journey, a message, and a moment in history preserved forever on paper. As we look at the current market in 2025, most ordinary examples of the 11 cents Liberty stamp remain valued between 10 cents and $5, depending on condition and format, while exceptional examples, certified high grades, and genuine errors can reach significantly higher prices in specialist auctions and dealer sales. For anyone interested in collecting American definitive stamps, patriotic issues, or Statue of Liberty themes, this stamp remains an excellent addition to any collection. Its affordability, beauty, and historical significance ensure that it will continue to be appreciated by collectors for many years to come. Next up, the United States during one of the most challenging periods in world history. This is the famous 1 cent defense stamp featuring the Statue of Liberty and the powerful inscription, "Industry Agriculture for Defense." Although small in size and modest in face value, this remarkable stamp tells a story of national unity, economic strength, and determination during the years surrounding the Second World War. At first glance, collectors immediately notice the beautiful green color and the elegant image of the Statue of Liberty standing proudly with her torch raised high. Above the statue appears the inscription, "United States of America," and below it the words, "Industry Agriculture for Defense." These words were not chosen by accident. They represented the essential foundations of the American wartime economy and highlighted the importance of factories, farms, and workers in supporting national defense efforts. This stamp was issued during the early 1940s as part of the famous Defense Series, a definitive issue designed to reflect the priorities and spirit of the United States during a period of global conflict and uncertainty. Each value in the series highlighted different themes connected to national strength, military readiness, economic production, and democratic values. The 1-cent denomination was among the most heavily used because it served various postal purposes, including postcards, additional postage, printed matter, and supplementary postal rates. The Statue of Liberty was the perfect choice for this issue because she symbolized freedom and democracy at a time when those ideals were being challenged around the world. Millions of Americans viewed liberty not only as a monument in New York Harbor, but as a reminder of the values they were defending. The image connected the nation's history with its future and became a source of inspiration during difficult years. The phrase industry agriculture for defense reflected the enormous mobilization taking place across the United States. Factories that once produced civilian products were transformed into facilities manufacturing aircraft, ships, vehicles, and equipment. Farms increased production to feed both military forces and civilian populations. Workers in cities and rural communities alike became part of a national effort that changed the course of history. From a philatelic perspective, this stamp represents one of the most interesting definitive issues of the 20th century. Millions of examples were printed and used in daily postal operations, meaning many survive today for collectors to study and enjoy. However, despite the large printing numbers, strong historical significance ensures that the stamp remains popular among collectors worldwide. Now let us answer the question that collectors ask most often. What is the current market value of this 1-cent defense stamp in United States dollars in 2025? Because this stamp was produced in very large numbers, ordinary used examples with postal cancellations generally sell for between 10 cents and 50 cents each depending on condition and appearance. Unused mint examples with original gum usually sell for between 50 cents and $3 for standard copies in good condition. Well-preserved blocks of 4 often command prices between $5 and $15, while larger multiples and complete sheets can bring significantly higher values depending on market demand and quality. Collectors should pay special attention to plate blocks, booklet panes, and postal covers bearing this stamp. Wartime covers with military addresses, censorship markings, and historical postal routes often have considerably higher values than the individual stamps themselves. Such postal history items can sell for $20, $50, or even several $100s depending on rarity and historical importance. As with all stamps, condition is extremely important when determining value. Collectors look for bright original color, sharp perforations, clean paper, and attractive centering. Stamps with tears, creases, stains, missing perforations, or heavy cancellations are generally worth less than examples in superior condition. Centering plays an especially important role in modern stamp grading. A stamp with equal margins and a perfectly balanced design may receive a high numerical grade from professional grading services. Premium graded examples can sell for many times the value of ordinary copies because collectors compete for the finest known specimens. Another exciting area for collectors involves production varieties and printing errors. Misperforations, color shifts, paper varieties, tagging differences, and unusual production mistakes can transform a common stamp into a highly valuable collectible. Some authenticated errors from definitive series have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at specialist auctions. The global collector community continues to show strong interest in stamps connected to the Second World War era. Collectors of wartime history, military postal history, propaganda issues, and patriotic themes frequently seek examples of the defense series for their collections. This international demand helps maintain steady market interest even decades after the stamps were issued. For topical collectors, this issue fits into several popular collecting categories, including Statue of Liberty stamps, patriotic stamps, wartime issues, agriculture themes, industry themes, and historical commemorations. Because it crosses so many collecting interests, it remains one of the more versatile and attractive issues from its period. The rise of online auctions and international stamp marketplaces has introduced these historic issues to an entirely new generation of collectors. Young collectors discovering the hobby today often begin with affordable, historical stamps such as this one before expanding into specialized collections, and advanced philatelic studies. One of the most fascinating aspects of this stamp is the message it carries across generations. It reminds us that nations are strengthened not only by governments and armies, but also by workers in factories, farmers in fields, and ordinary citizens contributing to a common purpose. Few stamps capture such an important historical message in such a simple and elegant design. Collectors often say that every stamp is a small piece of history preserved on paper. This 1-cent defense stamp perfectly proves that statement. It traveled on letters, postcards, business documents, newspapers, and official communications during one of the defining periods of the 20th century. Every surviving example has its own journey and its own story to tell. As of today's market in 2025, standard used examples typically range from 10 cents to 50 cents. Ordinary mint examples usually range from 50 cents to $3, while exceptional graded examples, rare varieties, wartime covers, and significant postal history items can command much higher prices depending on rarity and collector demand. For anyone building a collection of United States stamps, wartime issues, or Statue of Liberty themes, this stamp remains an essential addition. Its affordability makes it accessible to beginners, while its historical significance ensures that experienced collectors continue to appreciate and study it. Thank you for joining Stamps Old World UK for another fascinating journey into the world of stamps and postal history. If you enjoy learning about stamp values, discovering historical stories behind famous issues, and exploring the ever-changing philatelic market, be sure to continue following Stamps Old World UK for more exciting episodes from the wonderful world of stamp collecting. Remember that every stamp carries history, every collection holds memories, and every old album may contain hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Until next time, happy collecting and keep exploring the amazing world of philately with Stamps Old World UK.